إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I welcome everyone to our first Hajj webinar for 2026. I welcome several people from different regions of the United States. We have people, alhamdulillah, from UK, from Netherlands, from Canada, Germany, France, etc. So I welcome you all. And inshallah ta'ala, we look forward to helping you, supporting you, inshallah ta'ala, throughout this entire process, inshallah. So let's get started. So this is we are going to talk about getting started, inshallah ta'ala, today. So this sessions we are going to have once a week to start with. This might increase to twice a week as we start feeling the need for it, but initially it's going to be once a week. Every week we are going to present new updates as we find, and we are going to start progressing in our preparation, inshallah ta'ala. So try to not miss the webinars that we hold every week, inshallah ta'ala, because it's going to be different information that we are going to collect and present, inshallah ta'ala. So Nusuk process. In discussing with people, whether they went previously, whether in the initial stages of the preparation, I always hear it's very complicated. I hear lots of things such as it is difficult with this one, it's difficult with a document uploading, it's difficult to understand the entire process. Please do not worry about this, inshallah. We are here to help you with it. We will guide you through it. We have the experience to guide you through it. And this is purely fi sabilillah. We have a fairly large team who is standing around, who is waiting to help you. In fact, we even have volunteers from the previous Hajj who have volunteered to help the hujjaj based on their experience, etc. So I want you all to relax. It's not that complicated, inshallah, inshallah. With our help, it'll be lesser complicated, inshallah. We are going to walk you through. We are here to help you. We will guide you through every step of the way. We are going to stand with you every step of the way. So relax. Do not worry as much about it. And we, inshallah, will get through this fairly smoothly, inshallah ta'ala. Before we get into the details of the process, etc., I want us to remind myself and everybody that's listening to this video, everybody that's on the webinar and everybody that's going to listen to the video later on. We need to understand and ground ourselves with what is the essence of the Hajj. Essence of the Hajj is not just having the desire. Yes, it starts with the desire. Yes, you need to have the funds available. Yes, you need to put the effort to go through the Nusuk process, the registration, etc., etc. But that is not the essence of the Hajj. We need to first understand the essence of the Hajj. We need to get it inside our system. We need to get this so deep inside so that every step, if there are challenges, it should not look as big to us, because once we understand what is Hajj, what is the Hajj that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about? In Surah Baqarah, in different ayahs, ayah number 198, ayah number 200, in ayah number 203, Allah talks about Hajj in a few different ways, okay? And if you look at each one of these ayahs, like for example, in ayah number 198, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when you file from Arafat, you shall commemorate Allah at the sacred location of Muzdalifah. You shall commemorate him for guiding you. And then in ayah number 200, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about, once you complete your rites, you shall continue to commemorate Allah as you commemorate your own parents, or even better. Ayah number 203, Allah talks about, you shall commemorate Allah for a number of days in Mina. So what stands out here? Commemorate Allah. Commemorate Allah. Commemorate Allah. So if we look at what does commemorate mean, commemorate is very simple if you think about it. It is to follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's guidance. Is to celebrate the different aspects from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To contemplate, to think about it. to think about each one of the steps and to think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through each one of the steps, to think of why Allah is asking us to perform Hajj. Why is Allah asking us to perform Tawaf? Why is Allah asking us to perform Sa'i? Why is Allah asking us to do the Jamarat? Why is Allah asking us to be in Arafat, Muzdalifah, etc., etc.? It is, we need to think about this. We need to kind of put ourselves for a few minutes, but with devotion and dedication. With devotion and dedication. For a couple minutes, I would like all of us to stop thinking of the Nusuk process. Stop thinking of all the different steps we have to go through. For 1-2 minutes, just close your eyes and imagine the first step that you perform when you start your Hajj. When you walk into the Makkah, when you walk into Kaaba, when you see Kaaba for the first time, just imagine the beauty. Just imagine for a minute the beauty of seeing the center point of that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about, the center point that Ibrahim alayhi salam built for us. Just for a minute, imagine that part. And then walk around the Kaaba. Walk around the Kaaba thinking of how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions did their tawaf as part of the Hajj, showing the kuffar of Makkah that they are healthy, strong, and they are capable of doing this without any challenges. Just walk in their footsteps. Just imagine now. You might have done the Umrah, you might have done the previous Hajj previously, but now ground yourself in this essence of the Hajj. Every week, inshallah ta'ala, I will remind myself and other people with the different aspects that we go through in the Hajj, how we are commemorating, how we are celebrating, so that just for a minute or two, we stop worrying about the process. We stop worrying about where the funds are going to come from. We stop worrying about, oh my God, the visa has not come, the package is not here. Stop worrying about it. Each one of those challenges will become easier when you start imagining and thinking that we are doing each one of these things to commemorate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is going to become much easier. Now, I don't believe in people saying that Hajj is supposed to be hardship. No. Hajj is nothing but devotion and dedication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the devotion and the dedication of your efforts, of your time, of your funds, of your following on the footsteps that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us to perform, basically, as part of the Hajj. So for every time when you think of Hajj, take a minute or two and think of this fact. What is the essence of Hajj and how each one of the steps you're commemorating Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Hajj process. So this is the process that we'll talk again and again every week, the different aspects of it. But one thing I want you to, again, I'm going to repeat, do not get concerned about each one of these steps. We are here to help you. We will guide you. We will have multiple sessions. We are available for you, inshallah ta'ala. My entire team is available. We have a team of about 15 to 20 people. In addition to that, the hujjaj from previous years, several people have offered to help. They are willing to get onto calls with people directly, etc. We are here to help. Even if you have computer literacy issue, we will inshallah try to help you wherever we can, inshallah ta'ala. So the overall Hajj process, as of today, the one that we based on all the previous years' understanding, is the first step is registration on the Nusuk platform. Everybody who is a resident of Western countries, which is North, South America, Europe, Canada, North and South America includes Canada, United States, Mexico, the Caribbean, and the South American countries. Europe, including United Kingdom, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. Please excuse me, I have a cough, pretty bad cough for the last few days. Inshallah, it'll be fine. So everyone that is a resident, okay, of this country, not necessarily a national, as long as you are a legal resident of these countries, you have to go through Nusuk registration. There are exceptions to that. That is, if you have a dual citizenship from another country, such as if you have a dual citizenship with Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nigeria, and other countries, and if you feel like you can go from the Hajj package from there, you can do it. Otherwise, everybody has to go through only Nusuk registration. Do not allow anyone to tell you otherwise. You individually, as a or as a group, will have to register on the Nusuk registration. And we have released a video uh, that goes through, walks through the Nusuk registration. We'll talk more about it. We will continuously talk about Nusuk registration. We will guide you, we'll walk you through this, inshallah. So once you have completed the Nusuk registration, the Nusuk team will go through the verification process. They are going to look all the documentations that you submitted. They are going to look at the information, make sure all the information is valid, etc. And then if it is valid, they are going to send you a success notification. If there are issues with your registration, they will inform you. And in the recent years, they have been pretty good in terms of explaining exactly what part of the area is not good. So they are pretty good in explaining that, inshallah ta'ala. So this is the verification process. Once we complete the verification process, and then sometime in the December, January timeframe, okay? Now, registration is open right now. You can start working on your registration today. If you registered in the previous years, you still need to log in, and Nusuk is requiring you to upload the document. Do not worry about it. If you had submitted the document previously, just go ahead and resubmit that one. It is not an issue. Okay, so if you had registered in the previous years, all you need to do is go back, log in, upload the same document that you uploaded before, and then you should be good. The rest of the information is in there. If you had your e-wallet, funds in the e-wallet, it should be intact, inshallah ta'ala. So the Nusuk registration is open. The Nusuk verification process, we expect this to start sometime in the November, December. So if you have submitted the registration, if you have not received any verification or response from Nusuk, do not worry about it. They have not started the verification process yet. It's going to start sometime in the November, December timeframe. We are expecting the package to be available for review sometime in towards the end of December, and the Nusuk Ministry of Hajj and Nusuk generally allows us about 3 to 4 weeks to review the package. Again, do not worry about any of this. We will have multiple webinars. We will release lots of documents. We will be available on chat groups, etc., to guide you, help you. We will give you examples much before the December timeframe. We are going to give you examples how the packages look, so that when packages are reviewed, you are all set and ready to look at the key information and to make decisions, inshallah ta'ala. So December, January package review we are expecting. So sometime in the January to February timeframe. Oh, before that, in the same time, December, January, you will need to start putting funds into the e-wallet. Again, we will guide you. We will walk you through. We'll release specific videos on how to upload the funds into the e-wallet, and we will be available to guide you with any issues with the e-wallet also, inshallah ta'ala. Towards the end of January, we are expecting the package purchases to start, inshallah. So in that period of time, January, February, we are going to continuously have Zoom sessions, online sessions available, so that we can guide you through, with multiple sub Zoom sessions available, so that we can guide you and walk you through each one of those package selection, package purchasing, etc. So what I'm trying to emphasize at each one of the steps is we are here to help you. And this is totally fi sabilillah. We are not interested whether you go with us or not, irrespective of what package, what service provider, what group you go with. We are here to help you. Our goal is to help you, inshallah ta'ala. So January, February, we expect the package purchasing to start. Our expectation is before the beginning of Ramadan, the package purchasing should be over, inshallah ta'ala. We'll see how things move, but that is our expectation. March, April timeframe, the Hajj visa and flight ticket should be available. And again, this is also available through the Nusuk platform. Okay. Nusuk website, not the Nusuk application that you have on your phones, whether it's Android or iPhone. It is not the Nusuk application. It's a Nusuk website. You will have the Hajj visa and flight tickets also available right on the in around March April timeframe, and inshallah, middle of May the travel for Hajj will start. Hajj is expected, the days of the Mashayar days, we expect it to be happening somewhere around 24th, 25th of May. So just be prepared for it. So you should be prepared to travel by the middle of May, and you should plan at least 2 to 3 weeks at least for the Hajj travel, inshallah ta'ala, starting sometime in the middle of May, inshallah. So we have released an instructional video on how to register. So you can scan the QR code here, or you can use this URL to get to the video. And the written instructions are also available if you go into this website. A few pointers on the registration. Make sure if your passport is valid for at least 6 months from the month of May. It is a requirement. In most cases, Nusuk is going to fail you. Nusuk is going to reject that registration and send it back for you to resubmit it. So if your passport is expiring anytime before November 2, 2026, that is November of next year, please submit the passport for renewal immediately. Do not take chances of submitting a passport which is expiring in the month of June, July, August, something. So do not do that. They require 6 months from the date of the travel, which is basically, think of 6 months from the month of June. You need June, July, August, September, October, November. So at least November, it should be valid. If it is anything before November, you need to resubmit it for renewal and get it done as quickly as possible. We want you to have the registration in at least before the end of November. End of November, early December, at least your registration should be submitted, allowing for verification process to go through and for any corrective steps that you might have to go through, inshallah ta'ala. So have your registration submitted by at least by end of November. That means if your passport is expiring before November, submit it right now, inshallah ta'ala. Again, each one of these steps, we are there. We are here to help you. We will continuously be there. We will guide you. We will be there for you, inshallah ta'ala. So do not worry about this process. I know a lot of people start getting worried about it. Oh my God, this is so complicated. It was so much easier to give the passport to somebody, have them get us visa. I'm telling you, if you walk through this process with our guidance, inshallah, this is not going to be complicated. Yes, the purchasing part does get a little bit complicated with the OTP code, etc. We will work through you. We will try to guide you, inshallah. Our hope is that things will have improved this year. But do not worry about this process. We are here to help you. We will guide you. Any question you have, feel free to ask us. In fact, if you have questions, feel free to start putting it in the chat. Towards the end, we will devote and we will answer all the questions, inshallah ta'ala. So at this point in time, you should be doing the registration using the instructional video we have released, as well as the document that we have released. Follow this carefully, step by step, and try to get the registration completed, inshallah ta'ala. Now, again, our support, we are here. As you can see, our active guidance and support to all hujjaj, irrespective of which service provider, irrespective of which package, irrespective of which group you go with, whether you come with us or not, it's irrelevant to us. Our goal is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by getting and helping every hujjaj that has the desire, that understands the essence of the Hajj and is ready to dedicate themselves and devote themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are ready to help you, inshallah ta'ala. So sometime in the December, we will release the preferred packages that that we will support, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, we will support, meaning during the Hajj time. We will support all the packages during your registration, package selection. We'll support everything. This is only the list of packages that we will be guiding during the Hajj itself. And then we'll support the package selection process from the December to the February timeframe. Starting in February, we are going to start our sessions on fiqh and logistics. This is a very, very active training to prepare for our hujjaj for the journey of a lifetime. We get down to the small bit of every aspect of the journey, so that when you are there, we want you to comfortably perform the Hajj. Be aware of every step. That's where we are. We are not just looking at tawaf, sa'i. We discuss things such as where you do the laundry. How do you walk to the Jamarat from your camp? How do you go from Jamarat to the Haram, etc., etc.? We get down to the details, inshallah ta'ala, during our fiqh and logistics session, starting in February and April. Of course, our fiqh sessions will be left by our two young muftis, Mufti Ahmad and Mufti Muhammad. MashaAllah, they have been a great help to the Hujjaj in the last several years. So, but we are going to start this sometime in the month of February, a little bit immediately after Ramadan. We'll do the fiqh sessions, and then we'll continue until the start of the journey. Our guides will start their coordination with the groups, inshallah, sometime in the month of March, and continuously they'll go on until the start of the Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. So, again, I'm trying to emphasize again, the reason I'm spending time on this is I want you all to relax. We will guide you. We will help you. We will walk with you through the whole process, so that at any point in time you're stuck, we will be here to help you, inshallah ta'ala. Approximate package price. This is something that is very important for everybody, and we will go through this one, but do understand this is just approximate cost that we are going to give you. Okay, so the major factors that affect package pricing is the hotel in Mecca. How far is it from Haram? Is it right across from Haram? Is it a mile away from Haram? Is it in Azizia, etc.? These are the things that affect the cost of the package. The rating of the hotel. Is it a 3-star? Is it a 4-star? Is it a 5-star? So these things affect the cost, the package pricing. And of course, the camp style. Is it an Al Muassam camp, okay, which is a little bit further away from Jamarat? Is it an Al Kafsh camp, which is right close to the Jamarat? Is it a Kidana camp, which is also, it's a new camp that we don't support, but it is something also that's a luxury camp that is just recently started. I will discuss each one of these aspects in detail, inshallah ta'ala. So, hotels in Makkah. If you look at this, this is Kaaba. This is where the Kaaba is. The hotels which are right across from Makkah, which is considered zone A and B, these packages would be one of the most expensive packages from a hotel factor perspective. If the hotels are in zone A, which is in the clock tower, or in the Makkah tower, or if it's a Dar al Tawhid, or in the second tier from there one, the Hilton, the Doubletree, the Conrad, etc. So this would be the second level of packages, which would be expensive from a hotel perspective. Then is the zone C, which is about a mile or so from Haram. Generally, the shuttles are available. Plus, it is generally in a walking distance. Hotels such as Voco, Dar al Shurukh, and La Meridian, etc. They are all in the perimeter outside of Haram, probably generally about half a mile to 1 mile distance. So these would be considered the Zone C hotels. These are a little bit more expensive than the hotels in Azizia, but again, from a hotel perspective. Then there is the Azizia. This is generally about 4 to 5 miles walk, which is about 5 to 7 kilometers. They are marked as either Zone M or Zone D hotels. Shuttles are generally available until the 5th of Dhul Hijjah. All shuttles, they are generally available only until the 5th of Dhul Hijjah. After the 5th of Dhul Hijjah, the Makkah police starts restricting the roads around Kaaba. That's why the shuttles stop being available after the 5th of Dhul Hijjah. So be aware of it. But taxis are generally available. But again, there are advantages of being in Azizia because this is right across, right close to the Jamarat. So during the days of the Mashayar, it is much easier for you to get to your hotel, stay in the hotel, clean up, etc., and then come back to the camp. So these are from a hotel perspective. From Makkah, these are the different types of hotels you're looking at. Zone A and B, which is right close to Makkah, to the Kaaba, and then Zone C, which is about a mile, half a mile to mile walk through the Kaaba, and then Azizia, which is about 3 to 5 miles walk. So this is another view of the hotels. Basically, if you look at Kaaba here, these are all zone A and B hotels right here. Right here, these are all zone A and B. Zone C is about out here a little bit, about this area. This is where your Voco, Le Meridian Tower, etc., are right here on this side. And then comes your zone D, which is like further out here. It's about, as I said, about 3 to 5 miles. Hotels such as Holiday Inn, Ibis, Millennium, etc., are out here, like, in the Zone D, Zone M area, basically. Now, the camps, the second major factor that affects the pricing of the packages. The Al Muassam camp, which is also referred as the American European camp. These are economy and deluxe packages are generally there. It's about 3 miles walk. Okay, it's a fairly decent walk. There are tunnels. It's a paved area. Okay, but this is a 3 miles walk each way. It's very important when you're selecting packages, you understand this part here. There is no transportation to the Jamarat from the camp. There is absolutely, I want this very clear because I don't want any misunderstanding. There are no direct transportations from the camp to the Jamarat. Some people have tried different ways of going from here to Haram, then taking the shuttle back here. That's a completely different ball game. It's a little bit complicated to do it this way. But if you are able to walk, this is generally a possible this thing. It is generally not very difficult. If you have an elderly person with you with a wheelchair, you could do it because this is a paved area. It is generally not extremely difficult, but you should be prepared for it, inshallah. So this is your Al Mosam camp. This is generally the lowest cost from a camp perspective. And then there is the Al Kabsh, which is like about half a mile walk to the Jamarat. It's very close to the Jamarat. It's about half a mile walk to the Jamarat. And then the other major significant part of the Majar Al Kabsh camp is the Muzdalifah and the Arafat are connected by train. Okay, the train from the Jamarat to Muzdalifah and Arafat, will show this in a later presentations, inshallah, is by train. Whereas the Al Mosam camp is by buses actually. Okay, so this is something that you need to understand. Of course, the quality of the facilities is better in Al Kabsh. Al Masam is a little bit lower than Al Kabsh, but it's still generally fairly good quality facilities in Al Masam. More recently, they have done a lot of improvement in Al Masam. So I'm going to say this is fairly good quality. I mean, if you want to rate them, I would say this is about 4 star. This is maybe about 5 star. That's basically you're looking at from a star perspective. There's a new camp that was introduced in the last 2 years. It is referred as the Kirana camp. Before it was called Camp 38. Now it's called the Kirana camp. These are air-conditioned luxury buildings. These are buildings. These are not tents. These are buildings. This is about a mile walk to the Jamarat. As of our understanding, there is no access to the Mashayar train. Things might change this year, but these are luxury high-rise buildings. These would be the most expensive from a camp perspective when it comes to the package. Now, Medina hotels do not significantly affect the cost of the package, but it's still good to be aware of. This is a Masjid al-Nabwi itself. If you look at it, the north side is here and the south side is here. South side is basically towards the Mihrab area, where the Prophet ﷺ's resting place is. That is the south side. So these are all the different hotels on the north side. From a convenience perspective for the family, the hotels on the north side are much more closer because the sisters area is in this side, and from here it will be a long walk to the sisters area. Again, it's still not extremely difficult. It's a fairly good walk, so it is not extremely difficult. But the hotels on the south side are lower price, and there are hotels on the west side of the Haram, the Masjid al-Nabawi, and these are also lower priced than the north side. The hotels on the north side, such as Anwar al-Madina, Taiba Friend, Dar al Iman, etc. So these are a lot more expensive hotels, but again, it does not significantly affect the package, but you should be aware of it. So, looking at the now, let's look at the cost. Now that we understood the logistical part of it, I want to share the cost. Now, before I do it, I want to reemphasize these are only estimates based on our experience from the previous years. The actual prices will only be available when Ministry of Hajj releases the package. This is in Nusuk, that is sometime towards the end of December. This will become very clear. Okay, but right now, just for the sake of preparing, we want to share these prices. The lowest prices would be around 8,000 to 10,000, which would be the Al Mosam camp with the hotels in Azizia, which are about 3 to 4 star. So the cost could vary between 8 to 10,000. This generally includes, not generally, it always does include the flight cost. Okay, the flight might be of different types, different gateways, etc. So it's generally about $8 to $10,000. Again, this is going to be only clear when the packages are released on the Nusuk platform. The next level is the same Al Mosam camp, but hotel still in Azizia, but the rating is a little bit higher, 4 to 5 star. So these would be hotels such as the Millennium, the Holiday Inn, which are considered the 5 star hotels. The 3 to 4 star hotels would be, there are hotels, different types of hotels, Ibis, Imara, Noor, etc., etc. There are many hotels. So this is the hotels. This one would range about $9,000 to $11,000 actually. The next level is the hotel. Now you start getting close to Makkah. So if you find a hotel which is close to Haram, which is in Zone A or Zone B, the camp continues to be Al Mawsam. The cost can be about $10,000 to $13,000. Okay. The highest level, besides the Kidana one, would be about 13 to 16. Maybe this might go up to 17,000. This is hotel being close to Haram, and now the camp becomes Al Kabsh camp. So in this category, we are looking at the cost being anywhere from 13 to 16 or maybe $17,000. The Kidana packages, which we don't support, it is very difficult for us to even discuss too much about it. So this hotel might be near Haram, or they might give you the accommodation in Kidana, which we saw this year happening. The camp itself would be Kidana. Based on this thing, we saw the prices going from anywhere from 21,000 to even, I think, like 35,000 or so. Again, this is based on our past year's experience that we heard from different folks how the packages were released. So to re-emphasize, these prices are purely estimates based on our experience from the past years. We do not have an exact idea of what the price ranges are going to be for 26. This is just for sake of an idea that we are sharing this one. Again, to talk about the process, this is the process. Please start the registration if you have not done it. We want you to get to the registration. If you, as I said earlier, if you have registered previously, make sure to log back in and follow through the steps of resubmitting the documents so that you can get back into the verification process. And sometime in the November, December, we expect the verification to be completed. The details of the instructional video on how to register are available here. Scan the QR code or use the URL. From a restrictions perspective, in the previous years, excuse me, the minimum age for registering and for going Hajj was 12 years, 12 years of age at the time of the travel. We expect that to continue to be true even this year. We don't expect that to change. There is no higher limit on the age. Like a few years back, 4 or 5 years back, capped they had capped it at 65, but we don't believe that is going to be the case. It was not in the last 2 years, 3 years. So we don't expect a higher limit on the age. But the minimum age is going to be 12 years of age. We also don't expect any vaccination requirements other than meningitis. Meningitis vaccination would be required. There are different types of meningitis vaccinations. We will discuss this at later on. Do not worry about it right now. It is not critical. Sometime when we get to the package purchasing in the month of January, we will discuss it so that you start getting ready for the meningitis vaccination. Other than that, we do not expect any other vaccination to be required. The key part right now is for you to start doing the Nusuk registration. Besides preparing yourself mentally, spiritually, understanding the essence of the Hajj, so that as you're going through the process, none of the steps should look difficult for you. Okay, first try to get the depth of the essence of the Hajj. Inshallah ta'ala, when you do that one, it will make each one of the step much easier to follow through and go through. So anybody, if you have not registered with us, please make sure to register as quickly as possible. Here is the link, here is the QR code. It'll help us greatly plan our webinars if people have registered with us. The registration does not necessarily mean that you have to go with our packages or go with us. It purely is to help us plan and prepare for the webinars, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. Now, let's go to the Q&A. Hafiz Ismail.
Alaikum. So we have a few questions in the chat, inshallah. We'll start with that, inshallah. So the question is, can we register now and then update our passport info if renewal of passport is needed?
Interesting question. Very good question. Okay. Now, I highly recommend that you first get your passport renewed, because once you submit the information, it goes into the verification queue. Okay. So it does not help, it does not do any good for you to, okay. It does help in one way, by the way. Okay. It gives you if you want to do this as a practice session, yes, do it. But other than that, if your passport is expiring anytime within 6 months from May, most probably your registration will get rejected and you will have to resubmit it anyways. So I suggest take the time now. This is the month of end of October. You have about 3 to 4 weeks, at least before the deadline that I am setting, the soft deadline. Okay, that by end of November you need to have the registration. You have about 3 to 4 weeks to submit the registration. By the way, there is no deadline for submitting the registration. You can continue to submit the registration even when the packages are released. Okay, I am suggesting end of November as the deadline for everybody that is listening to us, everybody that is following us, so that we can guide you, help you if there are any issues with registration. So you have enough time to go for the renewal. My recommendation is go for the renewal instead of submitting the registration with an old passport. Okay, but good question.
Next question is, what package options and prices are offered, and is it possible to have a 2-week plan instead of a 1-month plan?
Most of the packages are 2 weeks, by the way. Okay. Most of the packages are 14 days. There are variations of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 28 days, but most of the packages are in the 14 to 17-day range. Okay. Now, package details, we'll get it only later. So, and we will talk about a little bit more detail about packages in the later sessions, inshallah ta'ala. Once we get into the December timeframe, we will start getting a little bit deeper into the package details, because right now we want to encourage and help everybody through the registration. Okay. Next question.
Next question is this family, his brother or sister, they are from UK. So we are UK citizens, moved to Qatar a few months back, living in Doha. Can we still apply on Nusuk?
Okay. The key thing is residency. If you have a residency in UK, okay, then you can still apply. Now, you need to have a residency in the country, legal residency, and as long as you have a passport that supports your residency. Actually, let me retract that. You need to have a legal residency in in these countries that I mentioned, Americas, North, South America, Europe, UK, Australia, etc. You need to have a legal residency. That's the only case that will allow you to apply through the Nusuk.
Next question is, inshallah, will the hotel fees be included within the package, or does everyone have to do their own reservations?
I'm sorry. What was the first part of it?
Uh, are the hotel fees included within the packages, or is everyone making their own reservation for hotels?
Everything from the time you land at the airport and back to the airport is included in the package. Other than the food, lunch, etc. Okay, so the transportation from the airport to the hotel, the transportation from Medina to Makkah or Makkah to Medina, depending on how the package is. The Pretty much every package includes breakfast and dinner. Some packages include lunch, some packages don't include lunch. Okay, the transportation from the hotel to the Mashayar camp itself, the transportation within Mashayar camp, Mina, Arafat, Muzdalifah, back to this thing. These are all included in the package. What is not included is if you make any other transportation arrangements within Makkah. For example, if you want to do some extra additional ziyarah in Makkah is generally not included. Ziyarah in Medina is generally included. Okay, so these kind of additional costs are yours. Other than that, the flight, the everything from the time you land at the airport and return back to the airport is included, which means your hotel costs, your hotel fees, everything is included in the package.
The next question is from Brother Yusuf. He's saying, I uploaded my documents, but when I added my wife to my family, it didn't ask for any documents for her. Is that correct?
That is not correct. You probably need to go back and look at it again. What happens is when you add a second member, it generally sends out a email to that person for that person to confirm that email to confirm. So what you want to do is go and look at the email that you shared for your wife. There should be a notification there. Once that is accepted, then it will proceed to the next step of the documentation and registration, etc. So every individual in an account will need to upload the documents, okay, and complete the application, rest of the profile, basically.
We have another question about what is included in the package, which I believe you did cover, but if you want to reiterate what is included in the
Again,
package.
package includes the flight. Package includes all the cost from the time you land at the airport and you return back to the airport for your flight back. Okay, everything is included excepting your additional cost of lunch or your other expenses that you might have, your own personal expenses.
The next question is your staff going to be there in Makkah and Medina to help out the hujjaj?
Absolutely. I mean, our team, based on the feedback and based on what we have seen, we are very, very serious about being with our hujjaj throughout each one of the steps from the time you come to the hotel and back, basically. Okay. One of the challenges that I have seen other hujjaj face is when they do not have their guide with them, they are lost. Uh, we actually end up acquiring several hujjaj from other groups just because they feel comfortable seeing that our involvement with our hujjaj. So rest assured, if you are going with us during the Hajj itself, we will be with you every minute of your day. This is our goal. We want to make sure that you are fully guided during your Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. And we will cover this a lot more in detail, what we do, how we do, inshallah ta'ala. Right now, let's complete our registration process.
The next question is, do we need to register for the weekly webinar every week?
No, you don't. As long as you have registered, we will be using that registration to send the invitation out. But because of the capacity issues, etc., we want to limit to the people who have registered with us. Yes. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. When I started of a process for Nusuk registration, they asked for a visa number. Then I could not proceed because they don't have a visa number now.
Okay. The reason, because you are probably doing this on the Nusuk app on the phone. You need to the registration for Hajj is on the website hajj.nusuk.sa. Okay, as we shared earlier, please watch the rest of our slides that we went through. You only can register on your browser on the website hajj.nusuk.sa that we shared earlier. There are instructional videos that we have shared. Please follow this. Follow our instructional videos, which will walk you through that one. Okay. So do not try going into your app on your phone. That's the one that requires the visa number. Okay. This will not require the visa number.
Uh,
Next, please.
Next question is, how does e-wallet work? Please explain in case we don't get selected. Are we able to pull the money back from the e-wallet and deposit it
Okay.
back to a bank account?
Okay. We are going to cover the e-wallet a lot more in detail, inshallah ta'ala. Just wait until the later part of the webinars. Maybe in our third or fourth webinar, we'll get to that one because at this point in time, we want to concentrate on getting the registration. But to answer the question at a very high level, yes, you can withdraw the money from your e-wallet. Ministry of Hajj will charge a processing fee. There is a 0.15, 0.15%, some registration, processing fee is going to be held back. Other than that, yes, you can withdraw the money from the e-wallet. But we will go through the details, inshallah ta'ala, in the later part of in our later webinars, inshallah.
There's another question about the e-wallet. About asking, do we pay with debit card or can you use credit card?
You can use either, but we are going to have the recommendations on how you should do it. We have gone through the experiences in the last several years, so we'll have your recommendation. What is the best approach to upload the funds in the e-wallet? But to prepare, our recommendation is look for credit cards. Actually, since you have a little bit of time, that's a good question. It gives me a opportunity to talk about this part here. Try to get credit cards that does not have foreign transaction fee. Try to get the credit cards from the larger banks such as the Bank of America, Citibank, Chase, Wells Fargo, etc. Some major ones, but look for that they do not have foreign transaction fee. Otherwise, you'll be paying the fees just to put the money out into the e-wallet. So look for that. Try to get credit card. Avoid the debit card as much as possible. Okay. Look for credit cards. If you cannot get one card with a big credit limit, look for multiple credit cards. But preferably look for credit cards from major banks. So this is just for something to get started. Look for credit cards, get credit cards. with which does not have foreign transaction fee, and secondly, try to get the credit cards from larger banks. I know that banks such as Chase does not have foreign transaction fee, but you need to look through this carefully. Okay. Next question,
Uh,
please.
quickly, if you don't mind explaining to everyone why you recommend a credit card over a debit card.
Okay, sure. See, the reason for the credit card as opposed to debit card is when you get the money out of the debit card, it is out of your bank immediately. Okay, it takes a longer process to get the money back into your bank if you use the debit card. Secondly, but more importantly, debit cards have very low limit. Generally, debit cards limit out at $500 to $1,000 that you can take out every transaction out. So that causes a big problem. The third problem is most of the banks that issue debit card have higher fraud restrictions where they will not allow transactions to go outside. The Nusuk being the bank that Nusuk banks with is a bank which is in Riyadh or Dubai or UAE. That causes concerns for the banks. And in many cases, debit card will cause issues. Okay. That's another reason that I suggested credit card with the larger banks. The credit card with larger banks generally, because of their regular transaction with these foreign banks, are a little bit more willing to allow your transaction to go through.
All right, inshallah. Next question is, um, if a person needs a wheelchair, can you help them perform Hajj?
Unfortunately, uh, we cannot make a commitment that we will be able to help with the people who need a wheelchair. What we suggest is that a family member accompany them. Now, having said that, uh, we emphasize to our hujjaj to understand that Hajj, one of the part of the essence of the Hajj is the brotherhood and sisterhood. Okay, where in case if somebody does require the need of a wheelchair, for the hujjaj to help. Now, in the last several years, with our training, with how much we emphasize, we have seen our hujjaj help the other hujjaj who need the wheelchair either on a regular basis or on a need basis. They have stepped up and helped them push the wheelchair. But as a group, we cannot make that commitment. So we want to be very careful in saying that. And this is true of all the groups. The pushing of the wheelchair is something that is generally very difficult thing to arrange for.
The next question is someone guiding at the time of arrival in Mecca and performing Umrah with us and how to perform?
Yes, we will, our guides will be there to take the groups, different groups at different times to perform the Umrah. To give you an example, this past Hajj, some of our guides were like going on a full regular basis to perform the Umrah, depending on the different age groups where they need to go, whether they perform in the Mataf or whether they need to perform upstairs, etc. So yes, our guides will be there, inshallah ta'ala, to help perform the Umrah.
The next question is asking about the packages. Uh, the flights, are they included in the packages?
Yes, flights are included in the package from the gateways that the package clearly lists. I mean, you might need to make arrangements for connecting flights, but the flight from gateways that they list on the package are included. Flights are included.
The next question is, if you have multiple family members, do we pay with one credit card or make multiple cards to add money in e-wallet? And can you use one Nusuk account for all family members, or do we have to create separate accounts for each
Okay.
member?
All right, good question. E-wallet is basically look at that as a bank account, basically. Okay, it's your wallet basically. You can put the money in there from multiple sources, one credit card, multiple credit cards. However you put it, it's a one big wallet. It is that one big wallet has to be used for up to pay for all the members in the account. How the money comes into that one with one credit card, two credit cards, bank account, etc., is up to you. Okay, but Every member in your account has to be paid through that one single wallet. I hope I answered that question. We will cover this a lot more in detail. Just hold off on this. This is just at a high level, I'm explaining this.
The next question is, uh, how is the housing arrangement based on packages? Do families get to stay together or are we separated?
Good question. Okay. The arrangements, the hotel arrangements, the rooming arrangements is based on gender. Okay. And same is the case even in the Mashayar, Mina camp, whether it is in Al Kawf, Shkidana, or Al Muassam, it is based on the gender. Now, in the hotels, it depends on the occupancy that you selected. Okay. For example, if you pick double occupancy, and if you're two people, then you get one room. Double occupancy meaning two people in a room. In that case, the two people in your this thing will be sharing the room. If, for example, if you picked quad occupancy, which is four people, and you're only two people, then you'll be separated based on the gender. Okay, so the hotel assignment, room assignment is based on gender, but it's also the occupancy comes into picture. If you're four people in the family and you picked quad occupancy, generally, and we have made sure that it happens that way, the four of you will be placed in one room because you pick quad occupancy. We will cover this a lot more in detail. Just relax on this right now. Okay, hold off on this. Don't get too worried about this one right now. Get through the registration process. We will guide you more as to what type of occupancy to select depending on your needs. We will go through this inshallah ta'ala in a lot more detail.
The next question is, are there any packages without flights?
No,
The person is coming from Doha, so they're
no,
asking if there's
no.
land only packages.
All packages will include flight. Um, Again, in some cases, the packages will allow you to custom pick a custom flight, meaning that you can decide the origin and destination. But even in that case, sometimes they do restrict to the country of your residency. Okay, but all packages include flight. The custom packages gives you a little bit of flexibility of arranging your own flight, especially for those people that need to drop off the children uh, in their home country for one reason or the other. The custom flights does work, but custom flights has its own challenges because of the extra time that it takes to complete the package processing. Okay, we will again discuss this at a later time. We discourage people from custom flight because of the challenges that we have seen previously. Okay, but other than that, the flight is included in the package. No land only packages.
There was one more question is, can you edit or update information after registration is submitted?
Yes, 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 yes. Definitely you can. Now, yes, you can make changes to your profile, make changes. If you feel like you made a mistake, etc., yes, you can go back and correct it. But once the verification is done, we strongly ask you to avoid touching your application other than putting the money in the e-wallet. Okay, even if you believe there is information in there that needs to be corrected, hold it off until the package purchasing is done, and then we will try to help you correct that information. Okay, the reason is because once it's approved, if you go and make a change in your registration, it goes right back into the verification process, and that could end up delaying your package purchasing, etc. Okay, but before that, yes, you can go make the change. Now, while I'm on that one key aspect you have to understand: your registration information has to match the information that's on your passport. Not what your name correctly is, but whatever name you have on your passport is what should be on the registration. For example, if you have the name Abdul Rahman in the middle of your name, but Abdul Rahman is not included on your passport, don't try to correct the registration, because the registration has to match letter to letter. what is on your passport. Date of birth, for example. If it is incorrect on the passport, then registration should have that incorrect date of birth in your registration. Also, it has to match exactly what is in your passport. Don't try to change it uh, from what the passport information is. Okay. Next question,
Uh,
please.
the next question is, we understand the use of credit card for safety reasons, but when a credit card is used, the credit card company will charge interest. Is that allowed for Hajj?
Mhm. This is a fiqh question that you can definitely raise with our muftis, but interest is haram. Interest is not permissible. So when you're using the credit card, what we expect you to do is you put the money into the e-wallet. When you when you receive the time money, when you receive your bill, and before the due date, by the due date, you take care of it so that you don't incur the interest rate. We do again recommend the credit card only so that in case if there are issues, you have a way of claiming, working with the credit card company to get the funds back. Okay. We don't have an issue. We have not seen an issue, but in sometimes the transaction fails somewhere halfway. It may not get there. So credit card companies generally will assist you a lot more than if you're using the debit card. From an interest perspective, no, interest is not permissible. You need to pay that bill off before the due date.
The next question, where do the groups meet up? At the airport of departure or in the Makkah and Medina?
I'm sorry, what's the question? I'm sorry.
Where do groups meet up? At the airport of
Ah,
departure or
okay.
in Makkah and Medina?
Okay. You will be, the guides will be meeting up at the hotel, but the service provider will be, the representative of the service provider will meet up at the airport, walk you to your transportation, and then the transportation will bring you to the hotel. You will be meeting up the guides at the hotels, inshallah ta'ala. At the different hotels, whichever hotels you are in, the guides will be there, inshallah ta'ala, to welcome you, and from there on, to guide you.
The next question is, if we pick quad occupancy and there's three members in the family, do we still get separated based off of gender, even though we're ready to pay for four people in the room?
Depending on the occupancy again, if you have picked, if you, no, you cannot do that. Okay, the short answer is no, you cannot do that, because if you're three people, if you pick a triple occupancy, then you will be in a single room. If you pick a quad occupancy, that is four people to your room, and if there are only three people in the room, uh, we can request for a triple occupancy at a later time. If available, the service providers do accommodate. Okay, if available, this is based on availability of the hotel. Okay, and of course, you'll have to pay more for that one, additional cost. There is a possible to change the occupancy at a later time. That is the only option you have available.
I believe that is all the questions we have for now.
Okay. All right. Jazakallah khair. And I do hope and pray that each and everybody that has the desire and is willing to put the effort and understands the essence of the Hajj is rewarded with Hajj Baitullah. This is a journey of a lifetime. I mean, it doesn't matter how many times I do the Hajj, every time I perform the Hajj, it's a different experience, it's a different uplifting experience. So I hope to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that each one of you gets this opportunity and makes it a Hajj Mabrur, inshallah ta'ala. So just quickly, we are going to send out a poll, inshallah ta'ala, to get feedback. If you want this webinar at the same time, 3 o'clock on Saturday, or 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, or 3 o'clock on Sunday, or 11 o'clock on Saturday. So we are going to send out a poll with these four options. Please respond to that, because we want to see what is the best option, what is the option that people prefer the most, because we want to make this as easily accessible and possible for people to attend. So please accept that poll and respond to that one. And anybody that has not registered with us, please register. And again, this registration is so that we can plan our sessions, so that we can guide the people better. This has nothing to do with, this is not putting you into a commitment with us. This has nothing to do with all that. We do not use this data in any other wrong way. This is our commitment. Our commitment is to help people throughout and through, inshallah ta'ala. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسمك وتعالى جدك ولا إله غيرك أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.